So moving on, what will this podcast be about? So we will be discussing a wide variety of topical issues on real estate in Kenya and hosting a wide variety of industry peers across the entire spectrum of the industry, ranging from legal, banking, finance professionals, surveyors, valuers, property developers, and other traders in the industry, agribusiness practitioners from farmers to exporters, construction specialists, and we want to be focusing especially those doing construction work using low-cost technologies. We'll be talking to individuals involved in public policy formulation for the industry and much, much more. We are not limiting who we want to invite onto the podcast as a guest. As long as they can provide insight into a conversation connected to the industry, we will be very happy to have them. We will also feature human interest stories to learn from the successes of those who have, cut their teeth in this industry, and even those who have managed to build their fortunes in this space and, how they're using their fortunes to create impact beyond themselves. We are all given the gift of imagination and creativity, and we all have the opportunity to build something that can outlast us. I think people call this a legacy. So we're here for a while and then we're gone. Our big goal with this podcast is to create a community of people who seek growth through their shared and different experiences in the real estate space in Kenya. I am a big believer in both excellence and temperance, and I want to just define what I mean by that. I believe that if you wish to do something, if you wish to do anything, do it well or not at all. And as far as temperance goes, I believe that wealth can be generated for good that extends beyond self. I actually think that because we, human beings in general, tend to think primarily about self, many of us tend to get stuck in the pursuit of things that are good for us, but without the understanding that the same things are good for others too. All can prosper, all can thrive if we cooperate and build strategies that are mutually beneficial. So I do have some goals here that extend beyond just making money from real estate. I am also a big believer in the productive use of land. And more at this time, I see that there are massive opportunities to create incomes and grow capital by feeding people. If we ever had to choose between food and shelter, for example, I think food would likely trump that argument. The choices aren't mutually exclusive. So one may ask, why not both? And I would say yes, why not both? My observation though is that we have tended to focus on one to the exclusion of the other when we speak about real estate. So for example, many people own plots that they have owned for several years, but which do not provide them with an income. In times of austerity such as these, when incomes take a hit, as what happened during the worst of the COVID pandemic, or now with the rising costs of living, those people would, and I'm in the market close, so I see a lot of those people making the choice to sell those plots rather than use them to feed themselves. And that inevitably defeats the very purpose for which they acquired them in the first place, which was, quite possibly to build a home when they had sufficient funds to do so. So the problem reverts to income. I believe that if people are well fed, have good incomes, it is easier to solve the problem of where they live with less fuss. This is the proverbial question about whether we put the cart before the horse or vice versa. This journey we're about to embark on shall be shared. That's our goal, and we're counting you in. Welcome for this ride. So please feel free to leave us a comment. Please feel free to ask any questions you might have and even recommend any conversations that you may want to have featured. We really want to hear what you have to say, and we'll be glad actually to make new connections. Rate this podcast wherever you come across it, and if you've learned something new, please leave a review, subscribe, and share with those in your networks, your friends, your family. We'll go a long way to supporting this podcast so that we can continue to produce it.